Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today. It's about 4 after. I think most folks have been signed in. We have almost 50 folks here, so look forward to sharing some information with you, taking questions. A few housekeeping points. We're recording this presentation. The slide deck and the recording will go out after the presentation, probably tomorrow in our newsletter. We're also going to make sure we take questions. So if you have any questions, there's a Q&A window as part of this. And you can ask those and we'll get to them if we can during the webinar. If not, we'll answer them when we send out the deck afterwards. The questions will be anonymous if you check the box anonymous. Again, if we run out of time, we'll answer them when we send out the recording. So with that, I want to go to the agenda really quickly here, review that, introduce John, and get going. So we're going to talk about, again, we have customers of Titan Cloud, we have customers of JMM Global on the call. For those who don't know each other, we're going to introduce us. I'll introduce myself to the JMM customers, JMM introduce themselves to the Titan customers, talk about the decision we made to combine the companies. And as a result, we have some new offerings and some new solutions that we can offer jointly to our combined customer group and how that creates value, answer any questions you have. And I think it's going to be useful. We believe this combination of kind of fundamentally a super software focused, along with kind of a customer obsessed services company together creates a lot of value. So with that, I'm going to go to the panelists, a little bit about myself, and then turn it over to John to talk about his background. So I've been about 30 years in the software industry. Again, first I'm CEO and the Chief Product Officer, so I'm focused on not just running the business, but just making sure the software product is creating as much value as possible. So again, I'm 30 years in software. I started as an engineer in software, a database administrator, and application architect. For Anderson Consulting, I built huge custom systems where you had 300 people on the development team. I was in consulting for a number of years, doing kind of technology and strategy at McKinsey and other places. I've been leading software companies for 20 plus years. I was at Siebel Systems as a GM at Oracle for financial services, a couple of startups. I've been here for about 10 years. So Titan started as a services company, now it's kind of pure software. And we're recently, if you know, I don't know if you know this, but like in last year, we had an investment by a growth equity company called M33. We're on this track of growing rapidly, kind of adding companies to the kind of platform, growing and growing and growing. And one of the first companies that we're kind of joining forces with is JMM Global. I'm going to turn it over to John to have him give you his background.
Thank you, Dave, and welcome everybody. Really appreciate your time. We know that everybody is very busy, so thank you very much. Background a little bit about me. I know a ton of people in this industry, so most of you know that I've been around for about 27 years. I cut my teeth on the petroleum industry. I have a background in civil engineering. I went to University of California, Berkeley. I'm also a Navy veteran. Earlier in the days, I worked for Chevron in undergrad. I also worked for technology. I worked for a major oil company, BP. Then in early 2002, I decided to go out on my own and consult. We'll discuss a little bit more about JMM in the future. But over the past decade, I've done a bunch of things, including mentoring several accelerator startups and helping them grow through a combination of board advisory and angel investment. Also this year, my wife and I we're going to launch the JMM Educational Foundation for Wounded Heroes. So we're pretty proud of that as a Navy veteran. Between my wife, Catherine, and I, we have 5 children, and one being our new baby, Leo. So it's a little bit about me.
It's a lot. Thanks, John. It's good. Yeah, so again, the kind of compare and contrast here, I'm kind of a pure software guy. John's got all this domain expertise. I think we think it's a good combination. So who is Titan Cloud? Next page. So we're kind of pure play SaaS firm focused on facilities with fuel. We have kind of one code base, weekly releases. We have 150 customers on that. Our solutions are centered around three main use cases: the end user fueling experience, minimizing fuel variance and loss, and reducing environmental risk and cost. The environmental use case is where Titan was originally focused, and our environmental software is used by, I think, 5 of the top 6 and 12 of the top 20, and lots and lots and lots of folks in this industry. We have recently been focused on some of the fuel analytics, customer fueling experience types of products, which we'll go into more later. In terms of who we focus on, we're kind of focused on the people that have the most need for software, which typically is the largest C-stores, but can be any and all sizes depending upon your complexity, how forward-thinking you are, how efficient you want to be. So we have people, again, we have these big guys like Circle K and 7-Eleven. We have people in the middle. We have Will's Group. We have Love's, kind of truck stops all over the place. We also have the largest fleet folks in here. Hertz, Ryder, Avis, XPO, Penske, as well as some service providers use our platform, like a SolveOne or a Seneca. So again, we're trying to be the platform, the software platform for the industry. Historically, been very focused on environmental use cases, reducing risk from release detection, testing, permits, everything and all things, alarm AI. Focused recently on some of the fuel use cases that drive increased fuel sales and reduce fuel loss as a result. Along the way, we're the OEM for a lot of the software that the ATG guys make. So Inform.net is our software. SSA2 is our software. They're just, Beatroot and Franklin are respectively just resellers of it. So again, very software focused. And let me go to the next page, talk about some of the use cases a little bit. For environmental, well, first, I guess, quickly on the platform. So we have about 50,000 sites using our software. About 25,000 are directly connected with ATGs, 35 VPNs, about 21,000 active users. We do about 14,000 inspections a month. We're very API friendly, so kind of application interfaces. So we have about 53 of those for third-party systems, from like a PDI to a TelePoint, third-party providers, everything in between, serve vendors, testing vendors. We have about 6 to 10, I guess maybe like 6 to 8 third-party testing vendors. They send us about 30,000 tests per month. Again, trying to be the platform for all things related to compliance, which includes your inspections, which includes your testing vendors, et cetera, and you're managing them through this platform. The fuel cloud use cases really focus on wet stock management. So we're at the point where we can reduce, your variance down to 0.1%, whereas, the standard, at least regulatory, is 1%, plus or minus 130. We're down to 0.1%, which is pretty significant. We also have a set of products around what I call frictionless fueling, which is trying to optimize the value for each fueling position, reducing tank shutdowns caused by bad ATG programming, nozzle down, bad flow rate, et cetera. Then on the facilities side, we actually have a full-featured CMMS system that competes with a Corrigo or an Accruent, Verisay. I wouldn't say it competes at the very high end. So if you have over 1,000 sites, there's a service. We have interfaces to ServiceChannel. We're getting interfaces to ServiceNow. But if you're below that 1,000 sites and you have facilities with fuel, where the fuel equipment generates a lot of work orders, we have pretty much a full-featured soup to nuts, and we can go head-to-head with anybody else because, again, the fuel equipment's a big part of the cost and risk that you have. So that's a little bit about the Titan background, the Titan use cases. I'm going to pass it back to John. We're going to kind of do this back and forth during the day. I'm going to pass it back to John. He's going to talk about JMM background and their use cases. Go ahead, John.
All right. Thank you, Dave. So again, for some of our JMM customers, some of the background, but this is to give you a little bit more in-depth background on JMM. We opened our doors in 2002 basically as a consulting firm. I helped out my former employer divest the retail portfolios. But after that, for a while, I realized that there was a need for petroleum companies to centralize their environmental assets. So I started developing a back-end database in-house, and it was housing asset information. Shortly afterwards, I did realize that this data system needed to be forward-facing to clients and customers. And, you know, I looked to partner with a company that had some domain expertise. So therefore, like a lot of you may not know that Titan and JMM have some history. You know, we spun up a separate entity to share software services. But unfortunately, that didn't work out due to conflicts with some previous ownership. That's why we're very excited right now, because it kind of has come full circle. You know, over the past 10 years, you know, we competed with Titan to develop our own in-house application, which was the application for environmental compliance, along with inventory management and inspection application, as well as our operator training portal. And we customized a lot of solution for you guys. All of our JMM customers that are on here now know that we spent a lot of time with that extra touch point. So, you know, in the past couple of years, we worked on consolidating our platform to a fully cloud-based system, and we redesigned our system from ground up, built some BI tools for easy access and reporting. And we're going to obviously talk about vision later, but a lot of the best of both in the future is going to be combined. You know, for JMM customers, you're going to definitely see an improvement of the way that we're handling and reporting. But in 2014, I decided to look for a growth equity partner to help propel JMM to the next level. But, you know, from that, I decided actually it's better to sell JMM for the company's sake. So in April of 2014, I sold to BSM Technologies, which was one of the top 10 telematics firms in North America. And then over that 5-year stretch, we remained separate as a separate entity. But unfortunately, it didn't meet my expectations for growth. It was just being a little bit of a larger company outside of our space. So in 2019, BSM was acquired by another telematics firm, an actual global leader in telematics IoT, by a company named Geotab. And that left us a little bit further from our objective to grow. So I talked to management, I talked to leadership, still, you know, running the entity as president and CEO. So I was looking for a vehicle to help carve out JMM. So after a good amount of searching for a good 6 to 8 months, I found the right fit. And I helped Geotab transact the sale of JMM to Titan through their existing equity partner, which I again find is very beneficial for all of us in the industry. You know, apart we weren't as good as we are together. Together we are so much better. You know, so now we're here. And for me, I've been taking on a new role with the company. I'm still involved in helping the organization integrate and grow. My current title is President of JMM and SVP of Compliance Solutions. But my mission is to help guide the software platform through my domain expertise and be the face of the compliance arm for the company. Obviously, you know, guys know me, or most of you all know me in this industry. I mean, we sit on panels together. We've seen each other in trade shows, or you know, even in passing as friends. So, but you know, JMM has been always been customer obsessed, and we're eager to instill these values within the organization and be there for our existing clients as well as Titan's clients. And again, that's what's very exciting about this merger acquisition, is that we were able to partner with the best-in-class software out there. And again, we've never sold just a service product. We've always been a software plus services. So now this just enhances the overall product offering. And again, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. All right, so, you know, JMM, we've always had, again, I talked about some of our existing products, but we're going to remain customer obsessed. And as you see here, we're going to morph into more of a platinum service offering, right? So again, as I talked about, we're going to enhance the software offering by providing input to various people inside of this organization to help them understand more of the objectives on the compliance end. So we'll remain committed to our customers. will now be part of Platinum support offering and help, an expanded and growing need for a blend of software and services. But as you can see from this slide, we have a host of recurring services offerings. We've always done alarm management, dispatch, and closeout. Even though we offered that as software, we're going to be able to do that even further. Release detection reporting is big for us because we want to ensure significant operational compliance. We've always been customer obsessed and environmentally focused in that arena. Inventory management reporting for a lot of our clients and customers who need that help with that extra touch point. We're there for you. We've always done very good in NOV tracking and resolution. We're good permit managers. We do a ton of deficiency resolution resulting from some operational inspections. We've always offered and will continue to offer A, B, and C operator training. About 5 years ago, we spun up a call center. We ended up taking a look at what it would like to do that outsourced, and we just found that the domain expertise weren't there. So between Tier 1, Tier 2, we have all the expertise for your call center, especially when it comes to C-store side, underground alarms, release detection, even maintenance items. We've been very focused on ensuring uptime for our clients and customers. And as always, as necessary, we can provide these professional services. We're really good at helping facilities get connected because that's what's important, making sure that we have visibility into your telemetry, automatic tank gauge systems, devices, and that they're operating efficiently. Okay, next slide.
Great. So I think the next slide we talk about the kind of decision to combine companies, which you kind of probably get from our conversations. But so on one hand, we have this enterprise cloud software firm. 97% of our revenues from software. We really, again, we do software support services. We're not really doing platinum support. We have, again, we do it a few places. Again, we're not really set up for it. We certainly have some great account managers that are there to help you from a software training and usage perspective, but we're not, helping you use the software. And frankly, I think I've told some customers, like, don't call us, right? We're not set up to have you call us and pick up on the fourth ring. It's just, that's not how we're set up. It's a software company. I mean, you don't call Microsoft if you have a problem with Excel, maybe you do, but it's all very software focused, and we've recognized that's maybe not enough. And I think, listening to John and his experience at JMM, you have a very customer-focused organization with environmental domain, you have the ability to kind of supply support services. And so, as I've learned about this industry, I've been here 10 years now, so, every customer segment has its different needs and requirements. Certainly, initially, we focus on these very large ones that have the scale to kind of do it themselves. Other folks, if you have 300 sites, you may need some help. If you're outside of C-stores, your risk perspective is different. And so again, every segment, every size of customer, everybody has a different situation. Even these days, I'm having, even some of the larger companies are like, they want some flexibility because keeping the right people and hiring people is a problem. So like kind of a bandwidth constraint. So we're just trying to kind of give ourselves the ability to serve customers better by being able to combine these platinum support services and domain expertise for people that are using the most software we have, and maybe we'll pick up the phone, right? I think John has a don't pick up within 3 rings or something, and again, I'm half joking, like we don't want you to call us. So I also want to put a note here. So we're not becoming a service provider, right? That's not what we're doing. I don't want to be a Sol One or whatever, any of these things, or Ryder Fuel Services, or any of those companies, or Seneca. I just want, for people who use our software that maybe need a little help to use it better with some domain expertise. So instead of 97% of our revenue from software, it'll be 93% or 92% or whatever, right? And we have this platinum support. It's a healthier mix, to be honest, for a software company to have some professional services to add to the mix. A lot of the bigger software companies have this. We're going to look more like that, where you can, we're not competing on services, but we have it in conjunction with the software to create more value. So that's kind of the main event here. John, would you add anything to that?
No, I think you're right, and I know that the joke is on our side that you won't pick up the phone, but they actually, on our end, we want to pick up the phone. We want to be there for not just our clients, but for Titan's clients as we move forward. We're one combined company, so we're going to definitely work on that journey of what it's going to look like between our two organizations and how we serve our clients and customers better. We've always been customer obsessed, and we're going to continue to be customer obsessed.
Yeah, and I just want to add, so we have great account managers, the Titan team, the Titan customers. They're just not, John has a group that picks up the phone on the third ring, right? It's just a different level of service, that's all. So we just, again, we have a very software focus, and they have something a little different. And, every customer has its own situation, so we just want to be able to deal with all of them. So on the next slide, we talk a little bit about the vision here, what we're building. So one customer-facing go-to-market function driving growth. There's a gentleman on the phone here, John Donnelly III. We call him JD3 affectionately because we have two Johns. JD3 is my Chief Revenue Officer. He's already leading sales and marketing for the combined entity. John and him are working a bunch of deals right now. He's also going to be leading our customer success organization as we kind of integrate everything together. In terms of a product perspective, we are adapting the best of both approach. So, as Chief Product Officer, I want to have the best product. So I'm looking at the design patterns that were in APEC 2.0. We're adopting those. We've had design sessions in December. In terms of best practice here, so for Titan customers, it's going to be the same platform. You're going to see new functionality as we put some new cool stuff on the roadmap and get that developed. For JMM customers, talking to John, you're already on a journey to a new platform. The destination may change a little bit, but you have a continued journey, and he'll have additional conversations with you on that. Again, the focus here is a scalable technology platform and then mission-critical software and services that make kind of the overall offerings better than ever. John, you want to add anything?
Yeah, you pretty much summed it up. Some of our clients and customers know that I'm making a road trip out to see everybody this month and next. We're obviously going to be communicating what those changes would look like. Right now, it's business as normal. But as we take a look at the platform and how it morphs together and where we go from there, we're going to definitely solicit all feedback from all clients and customers and make sure you're in the right place.
Yep. And again, we're in the process of this right now, having design sessions internally and making sure we do kind of get the best of both. So next, we're going to kind of pause here because I don't want to just keep talking the whole time. For some questions, I have John Donnelly on point for being our question moderator. So JD3, why don't you kind of send some questions to myself and John Moreno so we can maybe make this a little more interactive.
Great. Thanks, Dave, and thanks, John. So far, great job, and really excited to be here. One of our first questions comes from the field, and the first question is for John. So how will this change in terms of the acquisition of JMM affect me as a JMM Global customer today?
I kind of just alluded to that. It is business as normal. But again, we're going to be developing that roadmap, that journey, what it's going to look like moving forward. But, I mean, there's a lot of good tools within inside of the edge, right? And there's a lot of good tools within inside asset portals, as well as our BI framework, as we've shown to a lot of our clients and customers. So, Dave's a great product guy, and Dave is going to be able to work with our software engineers, and we're going to solicit that feedback from our clients and customers, and we're going to do what's best for the customer.
Great. Thanks, John. Next question looks like it's for Dave. So is there going to be any additional kind of product training or other things offered as you guys combine the platforms together going forward?
So absolutely. Something that we've kind of been remiss in the past is we're going to be starting to host a monthly webinar series, starting with product features, product roadmap, how to use it. Part of it is, we have a more scale now. So it's very important for us to get the word out how to use the product. Again, the product is improving every week. How does that affect you? Some weeks it's minimal, some weeks it's pretty substantial in terms of what you can do. So we want to make sure you're aware of that. And I think the first one's going out this week. Yeah, with this, probably. Okay, so anyway. What else?
Great. And the next question actually is probably, I guess I can answer this one. The question was, how do I get additional services from Titan going forward? And so, again, my name is John Donnelly. There's going to be an email at the end of the presentation, so it's called ROI@titancloud.com. So if you have any questions about additional services that we already have discussed or will continue to discuss, please email that directly, and we will get back to you right away with any additional potential opportunity we can work together on. So again, ROI@titancloud.com. So that's it for questions now. I guess we can move on, and we'll take more at the end.
Okay. So the next, we're kind of moving quickly. Good. So the next page, we're going to talk a little about some examples of how do we get more value. I mean, that kind of the context for the entire webinar here is how do I get more value from my investment, depending if I'm a JMM customer from a Titan customer. So this scenario is if I'm a Titan customer, how do I get more value? So how do I essentially, do Platinum support services, add that to my, software subscription to get more value? So I thought I would tee up John and JD3 even to talk about this example. But so this is real life. We're talking to some Titan customers right now that raised their hand soon after the transaction was announced, and there's a set of functionality. And maybe John Moran, if you could kind of walk through this kind of situation, complication, and how we're solving it with this example.
Yeah, so as you said, Dave, we've had clients who've reached out to, I guess, both of us on your side and my side, and having that industry domain expertise plus the contacts. We have one right now as a logistics company. It's reached out to us. It's on the Titan side. And, right now we're proposing to help them with a gap analysis and provide some professional services, possibly a call center service, help them out and ensure that all of their sites get connected. Remember, we're really good at getting sites connected, making sure that their ongoing operational compliance needs are met. They're struggled with right now is that human capital resource internally. So we have the ability to be able to augment their deficiency in that arena. And then we have a rental car company that's reached out to me because I knew that person from a previous rental car company, and they're really taking a look at how they're being a little bit more fuel efficient. So looking at forecasting analysis and permitting. One of the big things is that they don't want fines and violations, and internally again they struggle with that human capital. So we're really, really good at that, augmenting in the human capital side. So we find that right fit. And again, our nice little Chinese menu of suite of services are able to augment the side of that client, the client side, when they don't have that expertise where, some people move on, right? So we have the ability to be able to help them out. So, Dave?
Great. Again, I would hope that coming out of this webinar, and let's by all means reach out to us, and we'll figure out if there's something we can do for you that creates value, and just something that's not been something you've asked, at least from a Titan customer perspective, you really haven't asked us in the past. I have a really large C-store asking me about kind of this bandwidth flexibility thing, so we're trying to figure out something there. I mean, the way we would approach this is pretty straightforward, right? Subscribe to all the software that we can throw at that use case, kind of make it as technology enabled as possible, then add some Platinum services on top of it to make sure we get the SLA that you need. So the next page, the next page is really kind of the kind of inverse. So where can we provide value for JMM customers? John, why don't you kind of tee this up, and I'll walk through kind of some of our products.
Yeah, so, obviously more software. We were software focused, but there's much more than what we had, such as, fuel analytics, wet stock management, frictionless fueling, and ATG management. For ATG management, Titan is the OEM for both. So you always will have again, a better service offering when two companies come together, product and service offerings, when two companies come together and combine the best of both.
Yeah, let me just kind of expand on that. So on the ATG world, I kind of alluded to this. We are the OEM for Inform.net SSA 2.0. We have some unique capabilities in the software because of that. So we're the only software that can actually do native Franklin and native Veeder-Root. Why does that matter? Well, if you're getting alarms from Franklin gauges and they're not in native format, you're missing information. Same thing about leak detection. So we've had customers with that issue. So again, if you have Franklin and Veeder-Root both, you're going to want to use our polling capabilities. We're also the only software that has the ability to manage the configuration of these ATGs. So, there's about 300 parameters on every ATG, and you have third-party technicians changing them every day. You don't know what happens. So again, we have the only software in the world that can, look at all those changes every night, however often, understand, is it good or bad, allow you to accept or reject those changes, essentially managing the configuration of the ATG. We call it ATG data quality, both for Veeder-Root and for Franklin, which is the vast majority of the marketplace. And we have examples of some really sophisticated operators where they had like sensor closed normal status for compliance sensors, which I think is illegal, maybe. But you just don't know what you don't know because you just have the larger you get, you kind of this bounded rationality, you don't know what's happening. So again, we have some really super powerful ATG tools to manage configuration, to get the right raw data so you can act on it, as well as the triage alarm. So there's the whole ATG tool set. We also have something that we've been working on a long time called Perfect Gallon. Again, 3 years in this industry, I guess it's not that long. So this is a better, more accurate, more precise version of what you would get from Clearview or what you'd get from Warren Rogers or Light & O'Brien. So we're about 10 times better than what the industry has. And, we're rolling this out at one of our big customers right now in a Canadian environment, which has like 0.5 liter tolerance, which is 0.13 gallons. So you're down to 13 basis points. And so we're having success. They were using the best available technology and software, using Perfect Gallon, or in this case, Perfect Liter. We're able to kind of improve upon that quite a bit. So that's being rolled out. So you're talking about the use case here is really just beyond compliance, using inventory variance as a form of leak detection. There's I'm saving fuel supply costs. If I can save 30 basis points on my fuel supply cost, it's enormous. So there's value for compliance as well as for fuel and fuel accounting. We have a perfect delivery product as well. Another one to talk through kind of combines a set of analytics around frictionless fueling experience. This is our point of view around fueling positions, which is you want to make sure, every operator out there that sells fuel certainly wants to make sure the fueling position is available, it's running at high efficiency. So we have analytics that can detect if the tank has been shut down, if it's been shut down for a reason that's not appropriate, like there's bad programming, is the nozzle unavailable, is the flow rate slow. So there's like these three causes that create fueling position issues. If you can fix those, which really means I identify them quickly, I resolve them quickly, and I reduce the root cause, so I'm kind of reducing both frequency and duration, has a tremendous impact on fuel volume. So we have validated, verified cases of 5% improvement in fuel sales per site, 2 to 3%. Again, the math is kind of the ROI is astronomical. I don't even want to put it on the screen, but given you're like 20, I think the retail gas margin is like 27.27 or something. So it's 27 cents. I'm sorry. It's pretty compelling stuff. Super compelling stuff. Again, we're talking to some JMM customers about that. Flow rate's part of it. It impacts your fueling experience. So we have a lot to offer people who care about fueling, both the ATG, managing the fueling equipment, reducing, dispatches, as well as improving the fueling experience, as well as, reducing fuel loss, whether that means kind of environmental and or operational related. So a lot to do here, a lot of opportunities, and looking forward to kind of moving forward with some of these as we go forward. So that's our kind of our pitch here, is really for Titan customers, It's really, hey, we have some capabilities now in services. This is an example. I went back to the previous page. Contact us, see what we can do. For JMM customers, I think we have some pretty compelling fuel analytics and ATG tools that we can apply to create value. And we'd love to have the opportunity to talk about this in the coming weeks and months as we see each other. And then I guess we have some time for some more questions as well.
Great, thanks, Dave. So this is actually a question for you. Do we have plans to combine JMM's and Titan's platforms, or what is the overall plan for the software?
Yes, as we talked about earlier, we're going to get to a common platform. Again, it's a journey for the JMM customers. They've kind of been on this journey already. It's going to change a little bit, but they've already been on a journey to a common platform. We're having sessions today to kind of understand functional issues and gaps, and we want to make sure we have the best of both into a new platform. But yeah, that's the plan. There's a journey. How we get there will kind of be customer specific. And John, why don't you jump in on that one?
Yeah, like I said, I'm making trips to talk to client and customers, see what their needs, concerns are. I've talked to a few, but been really trying to focus on the right answer. So as we develop this vision plan moving forward, I'm definitely going to communicate to customers directly on what that looks like. And again, we're going to solicit that feedback. We're also going to take a look at all of the options that we currently have within Titan's product service offering, and maybe there's some more enhancements that we can do with additional service or additional products and software that will help augment some of the development we've done on your side.
Great. I'll just add for everybody on the phone, please, if you have any other questions, please just type them into the Q&A at the bottom of the Zoom screen. I have a few more here. So the next question would be for John Marinas. I know that JMM has had operator training in the past. Will we still be able to do something like that going forward, and would that be on a monthly basis?
Yeah, so again, we've offered operator training through our operator training portal. We're actually going to be talking about how we enhance that product further. So we've been really kind of more focused on certain segments of C operator training, but it is definitely for some of our clients and customers. Matter of fact, we've just gotten some more interest in it, that we expand it beyond just the states that we're certified in. So we're definitely going to keep offering that product and hopefully rejig what we currently have and be able to provide ABC operator training moving forward.
Great. Here's a question, looks like from Brian. Well, I guess for Dave, sorry. Will administrative support improve over time with Titan for things like document uploads and updates to tracking tools such as activity logs and important dates?
Could you repeat that? I didn't hear the first part.
Sure. So the question would be, will overall administrative support in the software improve, such as document uploads and updates to tracking tools such as activity logs and important dates?
I would say yes, but you might need to pay for it. So I think that's a platinum support kind of thing, where we're going to help you administer the software, do some of the. I mean, we can kind of carve it out however you want to get carved out. But again, we will now have that capability. We now have a, kind of an organization that's used to doing that, and we'll take advantage of that. So I think raise your hand. Let's talk about what that looks like. But absolutely.
Good. Yeah, as Dave said, I think for all of our customers out there that are wondering, in terms of software and services, as Dave said, Titan's a software platform at heart. Now with a combination of Titan and JMM, we'll be able to offer those types of services just asked about in terms of additional functionality or additional work to be done on a monthly basis as we go forward. Next question would be for John at JMM. Well, if I'm a JMM customer today, will I be dealing with the same team going forward, and will the Illinois office remain?
Yeah, so there's no plans. I'm, again, been involved with a lot of the decision-making here, and we're not going anywhere. Software platform is going to remain for now as we take a look at the evolution of how we can combine, right? People are all remain the same. You'll still have the same account managers. So nothing will change. We're actually, again, looking at expanding those services and customer touch points throughout the organization combined. So we're really not taking a look at Titan and JMM. We're just taking a look at, Titan and JMM as a combined company moving forward. So all Titan customers, if you have needs, we have the ability to be able to service you.
Great.
Yeah, I would just add that we're just, as you know, JD3, we're growing, right? So I see us growing and not shrinking in any way, shape, or form. So
Excellent. Next question actually for you, Dave, is does Titan have any plans to develop a more dynamic dashboard or something more like Power BI or something like that?
Yes, and yes. So we are evaluating Power BI as actually part of the kind of best of both that we were talking about, because APEC had a start on that, right? So we're going to take some of the engineering talent that did that and understand what worked, what didn't work, and how to use that. But in general, we understand the need to have the ability to kind of create a dashboard, more configurable, more dynamic, and it's just faster, right? There's so much data being consumed to create these things, so we're looking at ways to make it more responsive and more configurable. So kind of short answer is yes.
Okay. Next question also for Dave. What is Titan's plan for the future in terms of additional acquisitions, or does the company plan to do this more often?
Yeah, I mean, there'll be more acquisitions from Titan. We're on this growth trajectory, which is both a combination of organic growth and acquisitions, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do a couple more this year, to be honest. So there'll be more, but I think they're adding capabilities. They're adding good things for customers. More to come. Stay tuned.
Okay. Another question for John Marinas. Will the JMM team that's there today be able to review data in the edge and make any recommendations or help us set up for new customers or additional projects?
Yes. Again, part of the Platinum support side is for us to ensure that the Titan customers have that service offering. So right now, our team has been intimately involved with training on the platform. Eric Nordstrom, who is our customer operations manager and customer support manager, has been literally in training sessions on a daily or even weekly basis. So we're getting up to speed on it. Moreover, we're actually taking a look at that overlap of what we currently have in our systems to help better provide input to the dev team on what those enhancements look like.
Okay, great. And I guess the last question would be, in terms of kind of future vision for the product overall, for Dave, where do you see Titan head in the future, and what are some of the kind of bigger things on the horizon that we can hope for?
Yeah, I think in the near term, we want to kind of fully commercialize all of our fuel analytics products. We want to go outside the U.S. And to be honest, we'd also be looking for in-store devices. I mean, other devices in the forecourt, we're working on that as well, right? POS, direct links, but then inside the store as well, as we think we have a really good platform to deal with data from equipment, analyzing that, workflow to handle issues, ability to kind of dispatch if you need it. So that abstract data flow you can apply to a lot of other kind of use cases within the C-store space. So again, I would say perfect gallon frictionless fueling, kind of fully commercialize and make available, because right now not a lot of customers know about it and or using it. Outside the U.S., plan for that, then get back into the maybe inside the store as well, high level.
Okay. Here's a question for Dave. If I'm an existing JMM customer, and you guys are talking about this product journey to a singular platform, will there be additional cost to go from JMM to the edge over time?
I would say no. I mean, we're going to do apples to apples to the extent we can. And just to be honest, if we need to do some horse trading to get you to move sooner, we'll give you some extra stuff. And JD3 doesn't like me saying that, but I'm like, there's no, I don't want to make this I don't want to make this hard or painful. I want to make this as easy as possible. And whatever we can do to entice you to come over sooner, that would be great.
Yeah, and I would just add to what Dave said, and that, again, any JMM customers that have functionality they're using today that is similar to the Edge would be, again, pretty transparent in terms of being able to start using the Edge with no additional cost. Obviously, if you're looking to do additional things that you're not doing today with JMM, that's obviously more. Let's talk about it and figure out the right economic environment that will work for both of us and move forward together. So we're excited about that. And I think that's most of the questions for now, Dave. I'll go back to you and wrap things up, I think.
So I would just like to close by thanking everybody for coming out today, this afternoon, spending almost an hour of your time, which is no doubt you're working at the same time, which is good because again, thanks for coming out. Thanks for spending time. We're happy to be able to offer you this kind of joint set of capabilities. We're very excited about the kind of opportunities it opens up for us. We strongly believe that there's going to be increased value by combining forces. And again, just looking forward to seeing everyone at different conferences, customer visits. And I think, John, you're going skiing, right? So maybe you'll see John in Vail, and I'll toss it to you, John, for the close.
Yeah, going to head to Sigma this weekend, and hope to see some of you guys there. But again, as Dave said, I can't echo that sentiment more. That we thank you very much for being a client and customer, of ours for last past 17 years, and for Titan as well. And hope to see all of you out there in the conferences and trade shows. And if you have questions that are compliance, environmental related, or you need some regulatory assurance that your facilities are compliant, think of us. We can help. Take a look. Gap analysis. We understand that a lot of effort on the HSSE side at your various organizations are strained, so we can help you.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Again, we'll send out a recording and the presentation here shortly, and reach out. The final page here. I'm sorry. Let me. Can I get my screen back? So I just want to put this up here. So this ROI at TitanCloud.com, or obviously talk to any one of your account managers or people or me or John, and we'll, if you want to raise your hand and interested in talking about some new solutions, by all means reach out and we'll be happy to start talking.